what should have Marvel done after Endgame? Well, they had the right idea, okay? You shouldn't have killed off Iron Man and Captain America. You should have just recast. But since you did, yeah, you start over. You got to introduce new characters. You go back to street level, country level, not intergalactic, planetary, multiversal level bullshit, which they try to do now. But instead of having stupid freaking offshoots of the characters that we already have, we have Black Panther, we have female Black Panther. We have Iron Man, we're going to have black female Iron Man, and they're better than them in everywhere. Just pick from the incredible large roster count of Marvel characters, how many women do they have, especially on the X-Men alone, and focus on them as the freaking heroes. You could have done individual movies on Storm, Rogue, Psylocke, all those motherfuckers, and introduced them and shit. Instead, you went with freaking Moon Knight, and every single guy show, a woman basically took over the show. Moon Knight, the woman took over. All the freaking shows they did that shit. What you should have done is made Spider-Man the #1 movie coming out the gate and have Miss Marvel team up with Spider-Man and start introducing these new characters and established characters movies like they used to. Imagine if you like introduced Shang-Chi in like a Daredevil Hell's Kitchen like freaking show or movie. And forget the shows because nobody watches Disney Plus anyway and shit. I'm sorry. Like people show up to these movies like why do you want to go buck wild? She was cool. What happened? I don't understand this shit. She was cool in Avengers. Now she's like about to destroy the multiverse for some fake kids that she never really fucking had and shit. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, introduce Shang-Chi and Daredevil and Luke Cage and Punisher in a street-level thing where they're taking on the Kingpin and the mob and shit. Introduce Miss Marvel, like I said, with Spider-Man. Do Moon Knight teaming up with Doctor Strange because they're all part of that mystical, magical shit. Put Blade in that shit. Speaking of Blade, imagine Mephisto, the villain they kept cock-teasing in freaking WandaVision that they never did. Freaking unleashes fucking monsters on fucking planet Earth. Resurrects werewolves, zombies, vampires, and Doctor Strange has to team up with Blade and freaking Ghost Rider and Elsa Bloodstone. And they do Midnight Suns, and you do that freaking movie. And it's a badass freaking horror movie. And you have Guillermo del Toro, one of those freaking horror directors, do that shit. And you introduce all these new characters with Doctor Strange, who's established, who everybody likes because in freaking Infinity War he was badass fighting Thanos and shit. That's how you do it. You introduce all these new characters. Yes, comic book fans know who the fuck Blade and all these people are and shit. But unless you watch the Wesley Snipes movie from like 97, you don't know who the hell he is. You don't know freaking Mahershala Ali. And you gotta introduce these new guys. Black Knight, sure, throw him in that shit too or whatnot. Now the thing about Guardians of the Galaxy should have been used to introduce Galactus or Annihilus. Or the Guardians should have found the Fantastic Four somehow in the negative zone, and Reed Richards like, Annihilus is about to come and wreck our shit like Annihilation. So you can combine the Fantastic Four and the Annihilation story into one, and you can introduce the new Nova guy, because the Nova Corps was destroyed, but it's the knowledge has got to be passed on to somebody. They're basically the Green Lanterns of the Marvel Universe or whatnot. So you know what I'm saying? You use established shit to bring in new shit. The Guardians could have introduced Fantastic Four, Annihilus, Galactus, Silver Surfer, the theme of heralds, Galactus sending out heralds to eat planets and shit and whatnot. Just use the established shit to introduce the new shit. And then you could spin off the new shit into its own shit, or you can figure out what people like and give them the spotlight, and you can figure out your Avengers roster based off that bullshit. The second problem is they just keep going bigger and bigger and bigger. We got Thanos, and he just wiped out half a universe. Now we got multiverse shit. Now we got a guy named Kang who has infinite versions of himself. So it doesn't matter how many times you kill him, he keeps coming back. How do you resolve that? Hey, good luck with that shit. And then after that, you're going to have a guy who eats planets. You've got Celestials who eat freaking created the universe. Giant 1,050-foot robots that are bigger than the freaking planet. And shit. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. What's next? We got to fight Zeus and the gods. We got to fight the Beyonders who are beyond the freaking Celestials and the gods. We got beings that can eat universes. Freaking Ultron in that What If episode was just like freaking kicking planets around like they were soccer balls. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and they're going to get to a point where you can't go any fucking bigger because it's too ridiculous and the audience can't fathom and comprehend this shit because most people don't read comic books to understand this fucking shit. Go back to street level shit, reset this shit. What the hell, man?